Stem cells can turn into any kind of cell that the body needs because they are a non-specialized cell. Stem cells help out when one experiences injury or trauma, such as in the case of RG3. Stem cells are easily found in the body because there are many of them. The job of the stem cell is to replace or repair the old cells. The reason scientists are so fascinated with stem cells is because they can be manipulated like in this picture. They are able to be manipulated the most when they come from an embryo. This is a picture of a stem cell. When it comes to stem cell research, people should not be playing the role of God or a higher being. Stem cells are very hard to keep supply of. They are also an extension of a person. Stem cell research is unethical to humans. When experimenting with stem cells, the scientist and the researcher are playing the role of God or a higher being. This means that they are picking and choosing who gets to live and who gets to die. This is because when they are taking a stem cell from an embryo, they essentially are keeping it from turning into a baby. The embryonic stem cells do not have a voice to speak up and say stop. Like Monroe says, embryos cannot speak up for themselves and cannot speak for their own well-being. Dying is a natural part of life that will eventually happen to everybody. People are already living longer lives now. With longer lives come problems for the future. One of those future problems is cloning. This is a picture of Dolly, the famous sheep that was cloned. With the advancement of stem cell research, it could make cloning more possible. Cloning shares similar issues as stem cell research, which is that scientists would be playing the role of God. The way the researchers procure cells is non-practical. This is because once the cells are taken from the host, they don't last long. The stem cells do not have a long shelf life. Essentially, there needs to be an endless supply of stem cells for experimental purposes. When it comes to adults, that would not be hard because there are many in the world, let alone in the United States. Of course, though, it's not the stem cell that they want the most. The researchers want the embryonic stem cells the most, making it way harder to harvest. The reason for not wanting the adult stem cells is the most obvious reason, which is aging. With the process of aging, they'll also involve other factors. According to stem cell research in the world of genetics, adult stem cells may contain DNA abnormalities that have accumulated as a result of lifetime exposure of DNA-altering agents such as sunlight and toxic chemicals. The reason they want the embryonic stem cells is for the opposite reason. They are brand new, so they will not have abnormalities. Without having an actual way to sustain the life of stem cells outside the human body, it's just money going down the drain like in this picture. Stem cells come from the human body, so therefore they're an extension of a person and should be considered a human being when talking about embryonic stem cells. The embryonic stem cells are taken from the body right at the last possible step before turning into an embryo. Like Meyer says, it contains a complete genome and all that is needed to develop into an adult human. Stem cell research has been going on for a very long time and there has not been much advancement. The world is already technologically advanced as it is, so there cannot be more progress. The researchers have done some human trials, but they mostly end bad. Most of the time they end off worse than they were before, such as going into depression like in this picture. With everything said, stem cell research should stop no matter who they are taking the stem cells from. It's taking away life that would have eventually turned into a baby. With more stem cell research, it means more and more embryonic stem cells will be needed. With the advancement of stem cell research, problems old and new will come up. Everything stem cell research stands for is unethical.